me move on in our slides. Okay, that's fine. So my starting point is we have devices like your smartphone or tablet or whatever. We have devices that converge, but we have audiences that have very different needs. Yeah, audiences that come from different places, that have different backgrounds, different needs. So it's hard to make the whole world happy with just one solution, right? So we need a very economic, very resource a solution that is that requires low resources to come up with solutions. Yeah. And that is what design agility is made for. Yeah, it is made for innovation. So let's talk about innovation for a couple of minutes, because to each and every one of you, innovation can mean very different things. Yeah, it can mean personal development. It can mean doing a better job at your workplace. It can mean solving one of the societal or environmental problems, whatever. Yeah. So let's talk about innovation, and please consider what is your point where you would like to be innovative. Yeah. Newspapers are published every day with new content every day. Yeah. This is one very slight form of innovation. Yeah. Brands or companies are being relaunched, products are being relaunched, form of innovation. Yeah. New products are being launched on the market, innovation. Each and every new product tries to solve an existing problem or to improve an existing pain point. Yeah. Think about what doesn't work in your personal environment, something you would like to develop, something you would like to improve. That could be a starting point. Yeah. Because it's not just about gadgets. We use new technology to make our lives easier, but that's not the starting point. The starting point is making people happy, making customers happy, making yourselves happy. Yeah, that is the starting point. And that is, again, our target. And at a later stage, we can cross-check whether we have achieved that. Yeah. So it's about value propositions. It's about added value in personal lives, in business, wherever. So design agility, our method, is very universal. You can use it for very different things. Yeah, but it always makes life or a situation better for the people involved. That's why we call it a customer-centered innovation method, right? Because we need to kind of think outside the box. If we continue to think in a traditional way, we will come up with the same results as in the past, right? If we want to change the outcome, we need to change the way of thinking. And design thinking, design agility is a way of thinking that leads to new results, right? Results or improvements for existing challenges. And that is why the process, that's basically the structure of next week's seminar. The starting point, as you can see, is a challenge. Yeah, we start with a pain point. We start with an unsolved problem. So who of you is maybe familiar with design thinking, with the classical design thinking from IDEO or Harvard Design School? So obviously Brittany heard about it. Yeah, Charisse has heard about it. So design thinking is kind of the godfather or godmother of design agility. Yeah. But we developed it further because we wanted a method that allows agile project management. So it's more in loops than classical design thinking. And let me briefly take you, like on a high-speed train, let me briefly take you through the 8 main steps of this method. And you will understand in which way or how this work and the seminar will improve the existing pain points or challenges. So we start with a challenge, and that is something we would need on Tuesday, when we start at 4 p.m., that's like the starting time of the seminar. So the best preparation you can possibly do is think about a challenge. Yeah, a challenge always sounds like, how might we improve this and that? Yeah, how might I get a better access to my target audience? Yeah, how could I possibly make life easier? How could I improve my business? How could I develop personally by changing my job? All this could be challenges that take you further ahead in your life, private, business, society, whatever matters to you most at this very moment. So let's go through the process. We start with a challenge. We do some research. So please focus the minor steps for U1 to U16. We talk to the people who have currently the problem, the challenge, who are facing a problem. Interpretation is like an interpreter. In language business, we translate the challenge in our words to understand it better. Then we build possible future scenarios. Then, only then, in the fifth step, we start with the brainstorming. We come up with our own solutions. Yeah, we will work on them, refine them. We will select the best, the most promising solutions. Yeah, phrased as user stories. User stories is a concept from software development, which we adapted for design agility. Once we have selected the best ones, we will cross-check, is this really what our target audience wants? Are we still on the path towards customer-centered innovation? Very important step. Then specification means which would be a nice way for a prototype. We don't have thousands of dollars and months of working time to create a prototype. We need a quick and easy prototype. Yeah. So let's talk about what a prototype for your individual favorite user story. How could the prototype possibly look like? Yeah, that's specification. Then we plan creating a prototype. You'll be doing a prototype within an hour or two. Very low resource, very low input. Yeah, very easy, but it will get the idea across, the idea of your solution. So implementing the prototype, thinking of how can I present this prototype in a way that my target audience will immediately understand, although the solution is not developed readily yet. It's just a prototype, just to find out whether your target audience likes it. That's why we are going to present the prototypes next week to members of the target audience, or if we can get hold of them, between ourselves, among ourselves. But in any case, we are going to present the prototypes to get feedback on them, because a prototype without feedback is more or less worthless. Yeah, we create prototypes to get feedback and to have a first trial and assessment whether our ideas are on the right way, whether they are valuable enough, interesting enough to our target audience. So what we do in one word is gather insights, right? With these insights, we are able to modify, to improve the prototype, and either we have come to a good starting point for real product development, or we have come to the conclusion, hey, we need to go through another innovation sprint, and then we jump back to either ideation or selection and repeat it again, but that would be after our seminar. So what we do next week is I'll coach you from a challenge to an evaluated prototype, which shows you whether your ideas will work right away, whether they need improvement, how your target audience feels about it, and in case it is a business idea, whether there's a willingness to pay. Because if we want to offer a product or a service, we need the willingness to pay to be profitable, right? So we will ask the people not only if they like our prototype, but if and how much they would be willing to pay. And that's it in a nutshell. You know, a professor can talk forever, but that's not the idea of interaction. So I'd rather stop here, and I'd be happy to answer your questions if you have any. And don't be too shy, ask whatever comes to your mind. Anything I can help you with. Does that make sense to you so far?
I see Brittany smiling, and Paola, you.
Okay, that's a first answer.
Yes. And Cherise, well, I mean, of course, I'm biased because I have followed your course, and I'm not sure if I still have my notes from the last time, but just playing with the idea of starting something in professionally but personally. And isn't it also a bit of fragile when you share your insights with others? Because sometimes we might feel as individuals, well, I don't know Brittany, so she might steal my idea. How to go about that, Okke?
Well, this is a fair question. And if you are working with a challenge from your workplace, from your business, we should clarify at the very first afternoon whether you would like to handle that confidential or not. Yeah. In an ideal world, Deborah, if you discover you are working on the same challenge as Brittany does, I would say consider a joint venture. Yeah. Why not work together? Because together you will be stronger and you have more ideas and you will be more successful. However, if you would be both employees of different companies that turn out to be competitors, you can simply share ideas, and then we would need to know in advance. And I would coach you separately so that maybe your boss or colleagues needn't be afraid that something like gets away or is being leaked, as we say nowadays.
And because I see Paola, I believe you gave a thumbs up that you registered for this course, so you will be participating. Can you explain to us what were your motivation for doing so? What was your challenge?
Well, at the moment, I'm still busy with a business plan. So I think this will be a very good moment to participate, because I can learn a lot more about where are my challenges and where I need to focus more. So for me, this will be very helpful to focus on the most important details. So yeah.
Good point. Yeah, in the research called U2, not the pop band, obviously, but in this step, we will also be talking about market data. That is part of a business plan typically. So market potential, market size, and whatever. So quantitative facts in the step of research. The rest will particularly develop your value proposition, your product or service, and yeah, should be a great support for your business plan. So just in brackets as a footnote, I coach startups in our summer holidays, so from July to September when there are no lectures. So I'm a startup coach in my private life as well. So I'd be happy to support you with business plan or whatever could be helpful, Paola.
I didn't even know you were doing that as well, Okke. I mean, I will definitely sign up for a summer class.
yeah, for sure. No, I enjoy that. And it keeps me alive in a way, because imagine a lecturer teaches the same courses over and over again. So I hear myself talking sometimes like an auto answering machine, whatever. And so coaching startups is very thrilling, and it challenges me as well intellectually, whether I can give helpful advice, whether I can be useful in a way. So that's an important thing in summer.
I saw Cherise has a question, so I will mute myself so she can.
Okay. You have to mute it. Yeah. Okay, my question is as follows. Good afternoon, all. I'm also maybe a bit biased because I had the opportunity to follow your class in Germany. But my question is, one of the things you've been seeing lately that they say when you do research to see if there are any potential buyers out there for your service or your product, that the traditional way would be doing surveys and questionnaires, etc. But neuroscience has taught us that, usually the buyer doesn't know what they really want, and you have to be able to be 2 steps ahead. How would that thought, looking from the neuroscience aspect, fit into this model, or will that be discussed?
Yeah. Excellent question. And thanks so much, Charisse. This is a kind of a segue into the step of interpretation, right? Because in interpretation, we go beyond traditional market research. Yeah. We start talking to the target audience, and we will rather not ask direct questions. So if I would consider to open a rental service for powerboats, yeah, I wouldn't ask like too concrete and directly about powerboats. I would rather ask about mobility and convenience and the role of mobility in the person's life, or maybe it is more related to leisure and fun, and or to the customers of my customer. So I need a broader talk, yeah, to discover behind the known demand what would work for the person, what would be useful, because where there's use and benefit, there is very often a willingness to pay. So we need to understand what's behind the concrete desire of this person, and we find that out by talking, by asking open questions, by talking in the step of interpretation. That's exactly the aim of interpretation. However, yeah, I need to know how many people are there. Before I start a service, I need to know, is my target audience like 100 or 1,000 people? Because that has an effect on my price point, right? So number crunching, as we call it, is still happening in step 2, yeah, to get a rough idea how big the market is or how big it could be, how many competitors there are. But their qualitative understanding, what do we need? What do people want? Yeah, we do that exactly as you were assuming, Charisse. We do that in step number 3, interpretation, by interviewing the target audience. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you. That makes sense. And I know you're, if I may, if I'm allowed, Deborah, just next, another question. We're crunching it into 1 week. If we were in Germany, it would be much longer. What is it that you would like us to prepare so our meetings can be more effective? Because 3 hours for a week, it's very short, but I think everybody wants to maximize the outcome. What would you like to tell us in terms of preparation?
Yeah, I will. That's a great question. I will parallel type it in the text chat, so you can either make a photo or whatever, so you have it like in a written form. So first thing is think of a challenge. Yeah, as we say in design thinking and design agility, think of a challenge. Yeah, because without a problem, you can't get started. Secondly, recall from where you can get like basic market data, so that you don't waste too much time in collecting the relevant data. Maybe like Paolo, if he's working on a business plan, he has probably already gathered the relevant market data, or he's already in the process. Yeah, but everybody else, recall from where you can get market data. Yeah, just to show how big the market is, how many people there are, and just like a basic understanding. And the third thing to prepare, and then we are done. Think how you can get in touch with the target audience. You can, there's a word missing, excuse me. You can get in touch with the target audience, because ideally, you will be talking to them. Like we go out in the streets, yeah, we ask people in an in a matching situation, yeah, you might call people with a video call if you have like a special person in mind who would know about the problem. Yeah, you can call anybody by phone, by video call. You can just go out in the streets. If it is something specifically Arubian, why not go out and ask people in the streets? Yeah, if they represent your target audience. But it makes sense, of course, related to the challenge. Think beforehand, who is it that I could possibly ask? Yeah, collect some telephone numbers or video links, or think where would these people be? And I think these are the three things to prepare to be ready to start on Tuesday, 4 p.m.
And is it when you think where will these persons be? Does it come back to the buyer's persona? So making a concept of who your potential buyer really, what is
Absolutely.
She? Male, female, 50, 60. I see Brittany has a question. Yay, Brittany. Oh, I saw hand movements. I thought Brittany was,
But exactly, Deborah, as you were assuming, it has to do with the personas. Yeah. So ideally, is everybody in this session familiar with the concept of personas? Personas, buyer personas, so stereotypes, you could say, who represent the target audience. Yes, if you can think beforehand of the different personas, ideally we talk for each and every persona to one representative. Yeah. If you work in a team, you can talk maybe to two representatives. If you work on your own, rather only one per persona.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's good preparation.
Thank you, Okke. I don't know if Cheryl Adams, I don't know if she has any questions, or maybe she wants to pose a question in the chat. We did say half an hour, I believe, Okke. So,
I'm fine. I have the next meeting at 2 o'clock your time. So I'll be there. If you have questions, feel free.
Yes. So Charisse, I don't think has any other questions. Paola, this is an opportunity if you have other questions. Brittany's hand is going up. Brittany? Please unmute your microphone.
Yes, I'm sorry. Would there be a possibility, or would this workshop or seminar be happening again maybe next year or in the near future? That's not next week.
I have no clue. I can't promise it. So this is currently a unique thing. So I wouldn't wait for a second time, because I don't know whether there's going to be one. You know, it's a lot of preparation and organizational things that have to be done. And Deborah and Charisse are wonderful hosts, but I don't know how often and when we could possibly repeat that. So
yeah. And adding to that, I don't know if you're a faithful lifelong learner, follower of and receive our information, Brittany, but most of the activities, because we take advantage of the opportunity that we have when we meet these persons, and we have been in conversation with Okke since we saw each other in April last year, and it's finally taking place next week. He arrives on Saturday, and he's here for a week. They are one of our Erasmus partners, but they are mainly a partner for our students going to visit. And I believe you're the second facilitator, lecturer from HDO, second who's coming to visit us here at the University of Aruba. So if all goes well, maybe till next year, but it won't be happening most probably this year again. Charisse, you have a question, I believe?
Not really a question, but what I would like to tell Brittany, Charles, I saw Sacha Haynes signed up a bit, is in terms of timing, big carnival just behind, very busy, not much time. But I think what was very adamant of us inviting Okke to Aruba is the way he the teaching method. I think it's different than what you're accustomed to in Aruba when we have other international speakers. And I think if I can speak for myself, those were one of the leading factors, or for me, that I really enjoyed in the way he engaged in class and explaining the models, so that no matter if it's a product or a service that you are doing, that it is also applicable to you. So because of that, because he was in Canada when we were making the arrangements, and so it's an opportunity for us. So although the timing, it's always busy in Aruba with a festive, I would like to encourage you and those who have not signed up as yet to sign up. That was it.
Yeah. And we have more than in a university course, we have a huge flexibility. So we can really adapt this course to your personal needs. Yeah, be it personal development, be it a business you would like to start, whatever. Yeah, or if you just say, well, I'd like to learn this method because that is the cutting edge innovation method currently. So if you ask around in the States, even in China, you will find design thinking everywhere. So you could go just for the method and say, let's see where I'm going to use it in the future. I want to learn the method. Or you can say, I have a business idea or whatever. I want to use it for that. Yeah. Or I am currently considering what I want to do in the future. Let me apply this method for personal development. Whatever you're up to, we can make it work. And we are, as this is not a university curriculum, we can make it work for you.
And I was just thinking, Okke, maybe I'm just a bit greedy. Can I do like two cases, two problems at the same time to pain points? Or is it asking too much? So there's also...
No, it's maybe it's asking too much of yourself. It's definitely not asking too much from me. But the thing is, you might only get like half of the results for both problems or challenges. So as a coach, I would recommend to choose for our seminar, choose one challenge, and I can promise after that week, you will be able to do the second challenge on your own, right? Or you team up with somebody of the group and say, hey, we had fun together in that particular week after Carnival, and let's do the next challenge together as a team. Yeah. And you will both know the method, and then you're good to go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So I think there are no many other. I'm looking for Satya, but I see she's not there. I see Cheryl. I don't. Cheryl, you've been quiet. You're hiding. Your camera's turned off. But if you have a question, take this opportunity to post that in the chat group. Yeah. I mean, Okke is still here. I'm thinking, do I have any more questions, Cerise? No.
No, I think what is also helpful if you're completely new to the concept, that maybe look just on YouTube so you can have an idea. And I think the preparation is key to a successful week, because it's a lot of information. And I would encourage others between all the festive activities, so look at a few YouTubes as you're driving, just simply to get into the mindset, although Okke will give an extremely good explanation. So, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. Okay, so I think there are no questions anymore. Any final words, Okke, before I close this session?
There's nothing good until you do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, wow. Powerful words, powerful words. And having said that, I hope, Brittany, I really look forward and I hope you can participate next week with us. My colleague who's sitting next to Charisse is Anchi. She's the one who receives all the emails at cll@ua.aw. So once your registration is received, she will ensure that you have you are able to pay for it. And Paolo, I look forward to meeting you and look forward to hearing your business plan, and as much as you're willing to share. And feel free to share this information with friends and colleagues for who you think this is relevant. I do think this is relevant for everyone, and knowing Okke, it's going to be such an enjoyable 4 days from 4 till 7. I'm looking forward. I know it might seem long, but I can guarantee you at the end of the session, you will have a book filled with notes and ideas. And that's why we're happy, Charisse and I, that finally, Okke, you're going to be here almost a year later. So it took some time. It might take another year, but hey, we will make sure you're here. So thank you all very much, and look forward to seeing your registration and participation.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
See you on Tuesday.
See you.